Warframe Update 21.2. Well, this kind of snuck in on me. I was expecting a hotfix this week, not an actual update. But it has brought what we may as well call a new Jat weapon, because for some reason it wasn't displaying in the marketplace. That's probably because I've logged in too early, marketplace hasn't updated. The Jat Kusar? Yeah. Probably thousands of different ways of pronouncing that one, but this does look like a pretty decent weapon. This was the one that was shown at TennoCon. The biggie about this though, it requires a mastery rank 10 to actually get a hold of. Solely a heat based weapon. Its status, well, it's 5%, but its crit chance is 35. I do believe that makes this probably my new go-to melee weapon, simply because I run crit for melee. That's why I've been using the Helio core the whole time. This is quite a high one. It's up there with the, I think it was called the Techo. There was a punching one that had high crit chance. Blueprint for this is in the Chem Lab. We'll head there in a second. But this was a player-based or a player-designed weapon. It was actually designed by SilverBones, so doesn't look that bad. I'm just wondering why it's a mastery rank 10 when it has a slow fire rate and 80 elemental damage, being heat or not, with only a 5% status chance. Does look like a kind of a weird weapon, but visually looks absolutely amazing. I'm looking for it. Ignites enemies, explosive blast at range. Ooh, okay, that's why it's a mastery rank 10. It sets them on fire with an explosive blast. Ooh, that could actually be a really good weapon. I always confuse myself, yeah. I have the Corpus Lab on the left, Grineer Lab on the right, but I can never remember offhand. I know the Infested one is the Bio Lab. Okay, Corpus is the energy, so the Grineer Lab is the Chem Lab. Obviously, that's where the Ogress is and the turret. Should have known that one. But there it is. Obviously, the requirements to this are going to differ depending upon what clan level you are actually at. Mine is a mountain clan. Moon clan will need more. Ghost will need less. And I cannot remember what the name of the other one is. But of course, once you have collected all of the resources in this, it will then of course take 3 days to research before you can actually get the blueprint for this weapon. And 3 days can be a really long time to wait. To be fair, that's pretty much it, apart from the Earth tile set having a few changes. There is a list of fixes as usual. The link will be in the description below for that. But some of the big changes to this, apart from the fact that the player squad list is now defaulted to always be displayed, is if you go to a weapon and go to upgrade, it should show you how many former you have. It does. Didn't it always kind of do that? Same with the lenses. But it will now also do that for Warframes. If you go to actions, it will display how many former you have. That is going to be really useful. But to me, and I have had a few people offer me this already, and it hasn't been possible to do, simply comes to the fact that these one-off scenes that you can get after doing certain quests, well, that's not the right one, it's that one, Harrow's Temple quest. Yeah, these are now tradable. It says that they are tradable, but looking at this, it doesn't actually say that it is tradable, but it clearly says, and I've completely lost where it was. Hunhow's Datascape and Harrow's Temple Scene, this is Harrow's Temple Scene, are now tradable. So the problem here simply comes with the fact that if you're with Red Veil, you cannot pick up the Hunhow's Data Scene because, well, the Datascape, you can't get it unless you actually swap Syndicate to be able to get it. Now it says they are tradable. I'm really hoping this is of course determined on whether you have completed the quest. Then you should be eligible to trade for it. If you haven't completed the quest, you shouldn't be able to. But I can find nothing out about that. But in the notes, it says that these are tradable. despite the fact, like the normal one, it says may be traded with other players, this one doesn't say that. Plus, to be fair, that should look pretty nice. That is pretty much it. There is just an insane amount of fixes for this, hence there wasn't that much really added changes wise to the game. This has been one of those quality of life type updates, but the biggest one in here that I'm kind of ashamed that I missed was being able to spawn unlimited enemies in the simulacrum. I cannot believe I missed that, because that could have been really interesting, especially if you turned off the invincible warframes, so you could actually die, because infinite enemies in there would have looked pretty nice. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.